How could a $100 million submarine sink a $4.5 billion aircraft carrier? Picture this, an Underdog submarine, a fraction of the cost, takes on a colossal force on the sea, the mighty aircraft carrier. It sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? But sometimes, the improbable becomes reality. This isn't just a story of warfare, it's a tale of strategy, technology, and the unexpected. So stay with us, as we dive deep into this incredible tale of David versus Goliath. In one corner, we have the Underdog, a $100 million submarine. This is not your average undersea craft. This submarine, while being a fraction of the cost of its adversary, packs a punch that can't be underestimated. Despite its smaller size and seemingly modest budget, this Underdog submarine is a marvel of modern engineering. It's compact, nimble, and equipped with state-of-the-art technology. The submarine has a length of around 300 feet, the equivalent of a football field, and can dive to depths exceeding 800 feet. Its stealthy design allows it to navigate unseen beneath the ocean's surface, making it a silent but deadly force in naval warfare. The submarine's arsenal is also impressive. It's equipped with several torpedo tubes, capable of launching a barrage of destructive power at its enemies. These torpedoes, each carrying a payload of high explosives, can travel at incredible speeds, making them a lethal threat to even the most formidable surface ships. But what makes this submarine an underdog with a bite is its ability to leverage the element of surprise. Submarines are notoriously difficult to detect. They can lurk silently in the depths, waiting for the right moment to strike. It's this stealth and unpredictability that can give a submarine the upper hand in a naval confrontation. And let's not forget the cost. At $100 million, this submarine is a bargain compared to the colossal sum invested in its opponent. This cost-effectiveness makes it possible for nations with smaller defense budgets to still field a formidable naval force. The submarine, then, is a potent weapon, a silent stalker beneath the waves, capable of delivering a devastating blow when least expected. It's a testament to human ingenuity, proving that size and cost are not the only factors that determine a vessel's effectiveness in battle. But the sea is a vast, unpredictable battlefield, and the submarine is not without its vulnerabilities. It's a game of cat and mouse where the stakes are incredibly high. Now let's turn to the opponent, the heavyweight champion, the aircraft carrier. In the other corner, we have the $4.5 billion aircraft carrier. This gargantuan sea beast is no ordinary ship. It's more like a floating city, housing thousands of personnel and equipped with the most advanced technology known to mankind. The aircraft carrier is a behemoth, stretching over 1,000 feet long. That's about the length of 3 football fields, folks. This titan of the sea is powered by nuclear reactors, enabling it to sail for 20 years without refueling. It's not just the size that's impressive. The firepower is equally awe-inspiring. Imagine this. A single carrier can host over 75 aircraft, including fighter jets, helicopters, and surveillance planes. It's like having an Air Force base right in the middle of the ocean. These aircraft not only provide offensive capabilities but also serve as the eyes and ears of the fleet, giving the carrier a strategic advantage in any naval warfare scenario. And let's not forget about the carrier's defensive capabilities. It's armed with surface-to-air missiles, anti-submarine torpedoes, and close-in weapon systems that can shred incoming threats to pieces. Plus, it's surrounded by a protective fleet of destroyers, cruisers, and submarines. In essence, an aircraft carrier is a fortress on water. Now let's talk about the cost. Building an aircraft carrier is no small feat. It takes billions of dollars and years of meticulous planning and construction. The price tag of $4.5 billion is not just for the ship itself. It includes the cost of the aircraft, the advanced systems on board, and the training of the thousands of personnel who operate it. So, you have this massive, powerful, and expensive machine designed to dominate the seas. It's a symbol of naval superiority and a testament to human ingenuity. It's hard to imagine anything standing a chance against this floating colossus. So, how does the Underdog manage to take down this giant? The day of the encounter dawned like any other. A typical day at sea, with the sun warming the waves, birds in flight, and a gentle breeze rustling across the ocean's surface. But beneath this serenity, a game of cat and mouse was about to unfold. A $100 million submarine was preparing to engage a colossal adversary, a $4.5 billion aircraft carrier. A classic David versus Goliath scenario, but this time in the vast expanse of the deep blue sea. The submarine's strategy was to use stealth and cunning to approach the carrier undetected. It was a daring move, to say the least. The submarine crew, well-trained and highly skilled, knew they had to rely on their stealth capabilities and the element of surprise. They were fully aware that the carrier was armed to the teeth with state-of-the-art detection systems and heavily armed aircraft. The submarine began its approach. It moved slowly, deliberately, keeping as quiet as possible to avoid detection. The crew maintained radio silence, communicating only when absolutely necessary and always in whispered tones. They navigated by sonar, using the ocean's depth and temperature gradients to mask their presence. Meanwhile, the massive aircraft carrier continued its course, unaware of the threat lurking beneath the surface. The crew was going about their usual routines, the pilots readying their aircraft for the day's sorties, and the radar operators scanning the horizon for potential threats. The tension aboard the submarine was palpable. As they drew closer, the crew knew that they were in dangerous waters. They were now within the carrier's strike range, yet they pressed on, their mission clear, their resolve firm. Finally, after hours of nerve-wracking approach, the submarine was in attack position. With a deep breath, the captain gave the order. The submarine launched its torpedoes, aiming for the colossal vessel unsuspectingly cruising above them. The silence of the ocean was shattered. The submarine launched its attack, but what happened next? Each crew member held their breath, waiting for the impact. The encounter of the century was about to reach its climax. The attack was swift and unexpected. In the blink of an eye, the landscape of naval warfare was altered. The mighty aircraft carrier, a $4.5 billion symbol of naval prowess, was rendered vulnerable by a $100 million submarine. The aftermath was a scene of controlled chaos. The aircraft carrier, once a beacon of invulnerability, was now a testament to the power of the underdog. Its superstructure bore the scars of the attack, a grim reminder of the submarine's deadly assault. Amidst the wreckage, the crew of the aircraft carrier worked tirelessly to assess the damage. The very air was charged with a sense of urgency as sailors put their training into practice. The goal was clear: to stabilize the ship and ensure the safety of all on board. Meanwhile, the submarine, no doubt basking in the success of its audacious attack, had to grapple with the consequences of its actions. It had proven a point, yes, but at what cost? The rules of engagement had been irrevocably altered, and the once unassuming submarine was now a marked entity. The encounter had far-reaching ramifications. The aircraft carrier, once regarded as the queen of the seas, had its aura of invincibility shattered. The Underdog Submarine, in contrast, had shown that with the right strategy, even the mightiest can be brought to their knees. The world watched on, aghast at the audacity of the attack, and marveled at the submarine's tactical brilliance. The balance of power in naval warfare had shifted, and the ripple effects would be felt for years to come. Yet, amidst the awe and the shock, a question hung heavily in the air. Had the submarine's victory brought about a new era of warfare, or had it simply opened a Pandora's box of unforeseen consequences? The underdog had won, but at what cost? The encounter between the submarine and the aircraft carrier taught us several valuable lessons. The first lesson, and perhaps the most poignant, is that strategy is king. No matter the size or cost of the weaponry, without a solid strategy, they are as good as useless. The $100 million submarine used its stealth and agility to its advantage, proving that a well-executed plan often trumps brute force. This brings us to the second lesson: never underestimate the underdog. Despite being dwarfed by the $4.5 billion aircraft carrier in both size and cost, the submarine emerged as the victor. It's a classic David versus Goliath scenario, reminding us that victories aren't always claimed by the expected parties. Lastly, we learned about the potential weaknesses of seemingly invincible forces. The aircraft carrier, a symbol of naval might and power, was not as invulnerable as it appeared. Its formidable presence didn't deter the smaller submarine. This serves as a stark reminder that even the most formidable forces have their Achilles heel. These lessons extend beyond the military realm and into the everyday life. They remind us to strategize, to believe in our abilities even when we feel small, and to remember that no one is invincible. In the end, it's not just about the size of the ship in the fight, but the size of the fight in the ship.